That looks fine. It's bohemian, but it's fine.
I appreciate the use of your hall.
Yeah? Oh, you don't realize what an enormous favor I'm doing here. Yeah?
Well, you should be grateful to me, because if anyone comes in here and wants to sue you for poisoning them, I can defend you.
Good. Every speakeasy needs a mouthpiece, right? Right. Oh, hey, look who's here. Jesus, the cop. The top of the morning to you, Mr. Catwell, and the rest of the day to myself.
Barno, do you want to tell me what in the name of heaven you're up to?
I'm setting up shop.
Yeah, I can see that, but why? Went by your office this morning, they told me you were no longer in it. Your only forwarding address was Johnny's place. I was afraid you'd gone on a 3-day binge.
No, I'm taking another leaf out of your book, Mason. I understand that you set up shop in the State Street Bistro. And when I thought about it, it wasn't half bad. But I didn't want to steal your idea straight out, so I decided to set up my shop at Johnny's.
There were reasons for that, Julia.
And there are reasons for this, Mason.
Well, I did it partly to embarrass my sainted father and partly because I didn't have a job and no one would hire me. Now, you don't have nearly enough against my father, and you're affiliated with a nice, upstanding law firm.
Not anymore, I don't.
You mean this is for real? It's not just PMS or something?
I'll let you know when my PMS acts up. I have left the law firm. Smith, Caulfield, and McKenna, and Zig Heil have to find somebody else to kick around. Because I have my own private practice.
I don't believe this. I didn't believe the mad scene in Lucia, and I don't believe this one in Johnny's.
Well, you better have a seat and let it sink in, because I know exactly what I'm doing.
Yes, I'd like some information, please.
Yes?
Honey, I have to talk to you. I've got to ask a favor.
Sweetheart, I tried to get the baby down for his nap. I can't.
Wait a minute. This is business.
You can't even hear yourself think in here. The baby's been screaming. I've got to calm him down.
Sweetie, I need you down at the studio to do some pickup shots.
Mel,
I
look
know,
at me.
honey, I know it's an imposition, but that's why I came here to ask you myself instead of having my secretary call you up, okay? I mean, I'm just asking for a personal favor.
I really wish I could help you. The baby has been crying all day. I think he's teething. I am a nervous wreck, okay?
Honey, relax. Maybe you just need a little something to take the edge off, huh?
You have something with you?
Sure I do.
No, I can't. I don't do that stuff anymore.
Are you sure?
Yeah. What do you want me to get hooked on this or something? What?
Hey, I just want you to feel better. I mean, I don't care what you do. I just want you down at the studio, though, to do those shots.
What am I supposed to do with the baby?
Well, you are an upwardly mobile woman, correct? I mean, don't you have a babysitter?
Well, Yeah, I mean, I used to. I had to let her go. Can I bring him to the studio with me?
Oh, honey, come on. Come on. I'll be reasonable. I mean, I love kids. You know that. Some of my best movies have kids in it, but I can't have the kid there all day howling between each scene. I mean, you understand that. Look, he's probably going to ruin your concentration anyhow, don't you think?
Yeah, I guess.
Look, honey, you must have a friend here in this building who could watch him for a couple of hours.
No,
It's not going to take any longer. Now, call somebody else.
It's not that easy. I don't know anybody in the building. They all keep to themselves.
Well, listen, this is the 80s, right? Why can't your husband watch him for a little while? I mean, are you emancipated or what?
He is a lawyer. I can't expect him to babysit.
Honey, I didn't mean that he should take him down to the courtroom. I'm not saying that, but he must have a secretary or something who could watch him for a little while between writing letters, right?
Right.
Okay.
All right, that's a thought. I'll go get him ready.
All right, good.
It wasn't arbitrary. It was provoked.
Provoked? By whom? Tell me. I'll have him disbarred.
Mr. Smith, Sr., called me into his office and told me that I had to give up the Rita Grant case.
You had to? Why?
Because he said they've already have their quota of pro bono cases and that they can't afford any more unbillable hours. I told him that I thought it was a rather self-serving attitude. I cannot desert Rita Grant right now. She's pregnant and without a dime. And I know what it feels like to carry a baby for months. You have to know what it's like to understand that. So I gave him my resignation and he took it.
Well, I'll go back to what I said before. I don't believe it.
And what's not to believe?
I don't believe that you're putting your entire career on the line for the sake of one insignificant case.
Wait a minute. No one's putting their career on the line here. Smith, Cloughley, and McKenna are not the only act in law business.
No, but they are a very respected and influential
Second
firm.
of all, I don't think the Rita Grant case is an insignificant case. It represents a fundamental issue that needs to be argued and clarified time and time again.
Oh, I think what we have here, Doctor, is an advanced case of the Portia complex. Julia, how do you expect to get ahead in the legal world if you keep dropping out of it in order to take on cases nobody else will touch?
I did not become a lawyer to get ahead. I became a lawyer because I believe in the system. And when I stopped believing in the system, I dropped out of it. Will you stop it? I'd like to think that I stayed in touch with the concept of justice, which represents the poor as well as the powerful.
Well, what we're about to get is our annual Christmas production of The Quest for the Holy Grail with Julia Wainwright starring on horseback.
Yeah, well, I forgot that cynics are offended by idealism. I do apologize profusely. Mason, why don't you head on down to the private club and unruffle your feathers with a nice cold martini? I've got some work to do. Still here?
Rita, the real reason you're doing this?
What other reason would there be?
Well, a way to get out of the office. We both know that you asked to be transferred just to get away from me.
This is different.
Are you sure? I think it's just another ploy. Your request to be transferred to Boston was denied, so maybe you look at this as the next best thing.
My, you flatter yourself.
Come on, Julia. Case that you're bound to lose, setting up shop in a waterfront restaurant? And why else would you put yourself through all this, unless it's just to get a little distance between the two of us?
I think you need to take inventory on your ego, Capwell. Not every decision I make in my life has to do with you.
You sure?
None are so blind as those who will not hear. Now I have to get back to my work, doomed to failure as it may be.
You're still thinking about that Japanese symbol, aren't you?
I've been dreaming about it.
I know it. I knew you wouldn't let go of it.
We just got to figure out what it means, right?
I have figured out what it means. I mean, not me, but I figured out a way to figure out what it means.
Well, how?
Mr. Lionel Lockridge, he's into all that subjective stuff. Well, I talked to him. I told him what kind of information we need about this. He set an appointment for you two with a certain Harry Yamada. I got the address right here, okay? Upper State Street in a Japanese place.
Well, who is he?
I don't know. He's an expert on Oriental stuff.
I don't know
Symbolism.
this place. Is it safe?
Would I send you someplace that wasn't safe? Don't answer that. Yeah, well, all he told me was, for some reason, the cops steer clear of it. We don't know why.
No, I don't like you guys going out in public like that. Every time you do, you're taking a big chance.
Well, Kane, that's a chance I'm willing to take.
Oh, yeah, so am I. It's 100 times better than sitting around here and getting involved.
Well, speaking of being involved, I was up most of the night trying to figure out a way to reel Nicholas in. I mean, he's certainly not going to volunteer any of this information. So we got to find a way to trick it out of him, okay?
Well, Eden and I have been talking about that. I don't know how many times now. We haven't been able to come up with a real good approach. I don't suppose you have any kind of plan in mind.
Well, actually, I have come up with something. We're sorry to bother you again, but some new information has come to light.
What new information?
Well, we really can't talk about the details right now. But...
Yeah, but we're pretty sure of the facts. We got enough evidence that's in a safe back at the detective agency. Absolutely knock your socks off. I'm telling you what.
What are you doing?
I assume this has got to do with who really did kill my daughter.
Well, yes, we're pretty sure we know who now.
Well, who was it? Please tell me.
I don't see any harm in telling her who we think the suspect is. We are targeting Dr. Alex Nicholas.
Yeah, no
big deal.
No, he shouldn't have told you that. We just wanted to come tell you that we're getting pretty close to taking what we know to the police. I hope we didn't upset you. We just wanted to make sure that... Please don't tell anybody else, all right? Let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's leave it alone.
The police don't come here. I'm surprised anybody does.
How does it feel being part of the underworld?
Not very chic. Kind of scary, maybe. Do you think you can get ptomaine poisoning from breathing that air we just breathed?
Oh, come on, Eden. Maybe you should have stayed in the parking lot.
Oh, yeah, right. Stay out in the parking lot. The inside is scary. Out there is terrifying. Did you see the attendant?
I could break that guy in two, baby, and for you, I would have.
Isn't that
Mr. and Mrs. North?
Mr. Yamada.
I'm very honored to meet you. Mr. Lockridge is a man I respect very much, and he spoke very highly of you both.
Well, it's very kind of you to offer to help us, Mr. Yamada.
Please be seated. Well, Mr. Lockridge was not very specific. All he said was that you needed some scholarly assistance. How may I help you?
Have you ever seen this symbol before?
Pacayaro. Put it away.
Excuse me, I didn't mean to offend you.
What's wrong?
That is an ancient evil symbol of the samurai cult.
Well, do you know what it stands for? Could you tell us? You see, we need to know a little something about the people who might practice in these kind of cults.
It's very bad. These men, they're very dangerous. Look, that's all I care to talk about it. That's all I know, really.
Mr. Yamada, it's very important to us that we understand the exact meaning of this thing. Now, if this is something you can't get involved in, maybe you could direct us to someone else in Santa Barbara who can help us.
Look, I'm afraid I just can't.
You know, Mr. Lockridge would be most appreciative if you'd help us out with this.
There is a woman named Lily Murakami. She might be able to help you.
Well, how do we find her?
Well, I'll try to locate her. She should be out there today. If I find her, I'll send her in.
And if not?
I'll be back. Look, there's something I gotta warn you about. Whatever your interest in this thing is, don't get involved with this piece of paper, this symbol. It'll mean bad luck for both of you.
It already has.
I'll do whatever I can.
Thank you.
father's in dire straits.
What's the matter?
I have a meeting in half an hour with the senior partners, and my secretary's home with the virus. Victoria dropped him off, and I don't know what to do with him.
Well, where's Victoria?
Victoria, the director came by and said they had to do some pickups or something. I don't know why they have to do them now, but apparently they do. She was frantic when she left him.
What do you mean frantic?
Near tears. I don't know what she's so nervous about. They've already shot most of the movie, but now she's left him and I'm in a mess.
The joys of parenthood, eh?
Don't gloat. Julia, just tell me if you'll help me or not, okay?
Okay. How long are you going to be?
Just until he graduates from high school. No, only a couple of hours at the most.
All right.
You're an angel. I owe you one.
One. He owes me a lot more than that.
There's going to be so much trouble. I wanted so much to believe you. I wanted to believe that you couldn't possibly harm Elena. I tried so hard, but I don't think I can anymore.
I don't understand.
I can't protect you anymore.
What happened to make you doubt me?
Well, came to see me. They came again today. They said they would...
Pamela, I don't understand. Now, you know I loved Elena, and I would never do anything to hurt her.
Yes, well, you might convince me, but I'm not the one who counts anymore.
Wait a minute, I can't possibly convince Pearl or Kane. They're desperate. They will do anything to save Cruz. They are setting me up.
They have evidence.
Evidence? What do you mean? What kind of evidence?
Well, Pearl let it slip that they have something in their safe in their office that puts you together with Elena's death.
Oh. It's impossible. I mean, they can't. They can't. What could it be?
I don't know. They didn't tell me. But if you're innocent, as you claim, then you have nothing to worry about. Isn't that right, Alex?
It's a great pleasure to meet you, Miss Murakami. I am Ellen North. This is my husband, Richard.
Are these your real names?
No.
I thought not. In places such as this, real names would be unwise.
In any case, thank you for meeting with us.
I'm here as a favor for Mr. Yamada. He tells me you have an interest in something he feels is very dangerous, and he's concerned for your safety.
Well, we're not quite sure what we're dealing with exactly. It has something to do with an ancient Japanese cult. And Mr. Yamada said that you might be able to help us with this.
Yes. I know the sect represented by the symbol very well.
Can you tell us about it?
It is called the Cherry Blossom Society, a rather quaint name for a very fearsome organization. They originated the concept of seppuku. You understand?
No.
Harakiri.
Yes.
Oh. Well, go on, please.
The cult demanded much of its followers, years of rigorous training, both physical and spiritual, denial of all earthly pleasure. The goal was to reach a point where the individual was able to let go of his physical body for a greater good. Total self-sacrifice. Without question, without thought. Premature death was the ultimate honor.
That's a formidable discipline.
Mr. Yamada said that bad luck often accompanies the symbol.
Many people who are superstitious are still very fearful of it. But as an old practice, it's not very much in favor today.
So the cult has pretty much died out these days?
As it was conceived originally. But I hear there are men working on the dock who belong to a secret organization which possess great similarities and have the same goals.
Really, even today?
It is not difficult to find a follower, Mrs. North. Christianity has proven that. And that is really all I could tell you about your symbol.
Yes, well, thank you. You've been helpful.
I hope so. It was a pleasure meeting you both. Mazel tov.
Well, I think that's probably time for us to take our leave. Darling, what do you say?
Can't wait.
Are you satisfied? Did I do as you wished?
I can't believe that Mason asked you to take care of the baby. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, he didn't really have much choice. His secretary went home, and he couldn't cancel his appointment, but we managed just fine.
Oh, good. Was he crying all day?
No, not at all.
He was crying all the time for me, and then Mel came over and wanted me to do these pickup shots and everything. I mean, it's really hard without having his nanny. It's very difficult to arrange things. You know, I cannot believe that you're seriously working here.
Yeah, for a while.
You know, it just may hurt business if paying customers think that Johnny's has to have a full-time lawyer working here, you know?
Joke's already been made, Mel.
Oh, well, needs a new gag writer.
Oh, well, listen, I'm going to get this little guy home for his nap. Please tell Mason that I picked him up, would you?
Yeah, I will. Okay.
Sorry, sweetie. Thanks again for coming in today and doing the shots at the studio. You were great, and it was terrific.
Thank you, no problem.
There you go. I'm sorry about all those problems.
No, we got everything done. Can I drop you up anywhere?
No, I'm gonna walk for a while. I'm thinking about a new idea for a picture, and walking helps me be creative.
Okay, whatever. Well, Julia, thanks again.
You're welcome.
Okay, little one, let's go home.
Bye.
Go home? Bye.
Well, guess I gotta get my old creative feet moving, huh?
Do you think you can keep your creative feet still just for one little minute? I'd like to talk to you.
Hey, how can I refuse an offer like that from such a pretty lady? But if it's got anything to do about those old parking tickets, I paid them.
It's about Victoria.
Oh, okay. Shoot. That's just an expression in case if you were tempted.
I don't suppose there's any point in beating around the bush.
No. That's the spirit. Let's cut right to the chase.
All right. I know that Victoria is doing cocaine.
Is she? Well, I wouldn't know about that, but hey, she's a pretty hip lady. You know, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, she's real hip.
Yeah.
You're real hip, too, Mel. Because I recall that you offered me cocaine the very first time that we met. So I can only assume that you offered Victoria cocaine, and she took you up on it.
No way.
Victoria was fine until she started working on this movie. And then she changed. And it took me a while for me to notice that the change was because she was doing cocaine.
I think you're jumping to a lot of conclusions, Ms. Wainwright. And I'm a little surprised, you being a lawyer and all.
Well, yeah, really. Well, what are you saying to me, Mr. Stark? Are you telling me that you don't know anything about this?
Isn't that what I've been saying from the beginning?
I don't have a tape recorder going here. I'm here as Victoria's friend, and it seems to me that if you cared anything at all about her, you would do what you can to help.
Okay. All right, I did give her a little bit. She's been under a lot of stress lately. She's been exhausted, and I felt that she could use a little pick-me-up. But let me tell you something. Where I come from, doing coke is no big deal. You know, I mean, everybody does it. It's fun.
It's fun? Yeah, well, where I come from, I see people's careers ruined, and I see their lives destroyed.
Listen, people can get hooked on cocaine, on sweets. You know, I mean, those are those problems, okay? I mean, for me, it's just I use coke recreationally.
And you've got everything under control, right? Yeah, well, I doubt that. And even if you think you do, there are people out there like Victoria who may not have it under control. And when you find it out, it's too late.
She needed something to get through. If she was in trouble, I felt I was helping her.
Boy, do you seriously think that you're helping someone by offering them cocaine? Don't you know that it creates a whole new set of problems? She's a mother. She has a baby. Did it ever occur to you by offering her cocaine that you could endanger her baby's life?
No, it didn't. And I think I've had enough of this. Am I right? I quit listening to lectures when I left film school, but let me tell you something. I didn't have to twist Victoria's arm, right? She went along willingly. And if you want to know something else, she's come begging to me for a quick hit more than once since then.
Congratulations. You created a new addict. Are you proud? Do you get a special membership rate for bringing somebody new into the group? You know what I hope you get? I hope you get 20 years because you are a user. Not only of drugs, but of people. And you want to know something else, Mr. Stock? You make me sick.
I wonder if Dr. Nicholas is going to be coming here tonight to get the so-called evidence out of the safe.
If he's desperate enough, he'll be here.
I wonder how long we'll have to wait for that to happen.
Well, I guess it depends on how well we succeeded in making him believe it exists. Where's Pearl?
He's coming.
You guys know what you have to do?
Don't worry. We'll take care of everything out here.
All right. See you. I was just thinking.
Start thinking things that are cheerful. When everything's starting to fall into place, you should start feeling hopeful.
I haven't been in this room in a long time. I am starting to feel a certain guarded optimism.
Yeah, well, you let your guard down. Because we are really close to ending this all.
I'd believe that, darling, if I believed that Nicholas was really the guilty party.
Well, I'm willing to bet he is.
I got a problem with all this secret society stuff. It just don't fit. I think there's more to this situation than meets the proverbial eye.
Julia, you didn't have to come all the way over here to bring me this.
Yeah, well, I didn't want Chip losing any sleep worrying about it, and I was on my way home.
Thank you. You've really been good to us today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I have these spells every now and then. What can I say?
Well, can I offer you something? Would you like a drink?
No, I'd like to talk to you if you have a minute.
Oh, yeah. I've got everything under control. Please sit down. I want to thank you again for today. I really do. You know, it's terrible not having Mrs. Whitcomb anymore. I started to depend on her a whole lot.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. Mrs. Whitcomb came to see me.
Mrs. Whitcomb?
Yeah.
She had no right to do that.
She denied all of Mason's allegations. She said that you paid her for the day and sent her home and told her that you didn't need her anymore.
Well, she's just being spiteful.
Victoria, you know that she's not a very spiteful woman. And I'm sorry, but I believe what she said. That after she left, you walked out of here and you left Chip by himself.
So you're going to believe somebody that you hardly even know? She's lying. Of course, we fired her. Of course she wants to get back at us.
It's not your fault. Victoria, it's okay. You have a problem. You probably didn't even realize what you did. And I'm sure that you've been under a lot of pressures that none of us knew you were having. I'm on your side. I really am, and I want to help you.
Have you said anything to Mason?
No. And I won't say anything to him. But I want you to get some professional help.
Julia, come on! I don't need any help. I can quit. I can quit by myself. You know, I haven't been doing it all that long. What do you think? I'm an addict or something?
This isn't an easy thing to shake by yourself, Victoria. And what happens when the pressures get bad again, and you start doing this all over?
Absolutely not. I've learned my lesson.
Well, I hope that you have. I want you to promise me that if you feel tempted to do this again, that you will call me. Because I will see to it that you get some help. Will you promise me that?
Yes.
Good, that makes me feel better.
Julia, you know, I'm sort of like your hostage now because I have to trust you not to tell Mason.
I don't take hostages, okay? They're too expensive to board.
No.
I won't tell anybody.
Thank you.
Gotta go.
Julia, I really mean it. Nobody else would have done this for me.
You're my friend.
Began and ended, didn't it? I mean, we were going to be married in those mountains. We were going to start our married life there together.
Oh, baby, you know, it hasn't ended. I mean, we could still do it there.
It doesn't matter where it is. Just like this whole episode to be over with.
That makes two of us. I just wish I could be as confident as you are that it's going to end soon.
Well, you just have to be positive. Such a thing as negative energy, you know. Sometimes when you're afraid of something, you bring it on just because you're afraid of it.
Well, maybe I'll start trying to think positive for a change, see where that gets me.
It'll get you a long way. Give us a new beginning. Pretty soon I'm going to be able to go out in public with you, kiss you, hold your hand in restaurants, do all those good things. We don't have to be hiding. No more disguises, no more Mr. and Mrs. North.
Lionel, we came up with Mr. and Mrs. North.
We can be Mr. and Mrs. Castillo for all the world to see.
That's all I ever wanted.
I wish something would happen. I can't stand this waiting. I don't have the patience for it. Kate! Are you there?
Shh, yeah, I'm here. This waiting kind of reminds me of Nam when he'd pull watch. He'd sit there all night long, just listening to your heart, your imagination going nuts, just waiting for him to run right over you.
That would have driven me bonkers.
Well, it happened to a lot of us.
God, I love you. You do me a favor.
Yes.
You stay here till
No! I've been involved in this at the beginning. You can't shut me out.
Baby, if this is as dangerous, if Nicholas goes off the deep end like Kane seems to think he might, it would be better if you were in here being safe. Please, just this once. Thanks. You guys okay?
Yeah, no sign yet.
Yeah, we're fine. But what happens if he don't show up then?
Well, then we'll try something else.
Hey, no, don't give up so fast. He's coming. I can feel it. He's on his way.
Oh, my God. Pamela, what are you doing here? You almost scared me to death.
You did it.
What?
You killed her.
What, are you crazy?
I know why you're here. You're here because I let it slip. There was some damning evidence against you in Cruz's safe. That's why you've come here today.
And you're here to trick me, aren't you? Isn't that right? You led me to believe that I had your trust. But now you're just sulking in the shadows here. Right? Waiting for me to fall into some kind of a trap. Don't you dare. Don't you dare accuse me because you are as much responsible for Elena's death as I am. You ignored her for all those years. You're the one who deserted her. You filled her with bitterness and hate and rage. And she was so twisted, Pamela. She was so twisted at the end. She was such a sick girl. You know what? You.
Oh!
I hate you for that. I really hate you.
You're going to kill me now as well?
Sure, yes, I really should. Pamela! Pamela!
Forget this, didn't you?
Yes, I did. What would Freud say? Lionel, can I talk to you for a minute?
Hey, it's rush hour, you know what I mean? So I don't know if I can spare... Well, maybe I can. What would you like?
I would like you to give me a cool, objective opinion on what I'm doing with my life.
What are you doing?
Now, do you think that I'm a big jerk for risking everything to take on a case that has absolutely no chance at all of winning?
You believe in it?
With all my heart.
Then you can't walk away from it.
Why couldn't I think of that? You always come up with the good ideas and the right answers.
Well, it's because I have this book, you see, 101 right answers to all the good questions. I thought you were going home.
No, I was until you gave me all the right answers, and now I'm going to stay and look over these files.
Well, in that case, you probably need a cup of coffee, because most lawyers do.
Good.
Yeah, good. Okay, I'll make a fresh pot. Right?
Okay.
Isn't this still the Julia Wainwright Daycare Center?
No, when the children go home, it becomes Julia Wainwright Legal Aid.
You telling me that Chip hailed a cab and got home by himself?
No, Tori came and picked Chip up.
Well, it would be nice if she told me things like that. I left word at home that I was going to be by to pick him up after my meeting.
Well, when she finished, Mel and Victoria came by and took him home.
Are they there now?
Well, just Victoria and Chip.
Is Mel there too?
No, just Victoria and Chip.
Well, obviously, I'm out of touch with everything, but then the husband's always the last to know. May I sit down?
That'll be $100 an hour.
Well, I'll take 3 minutes worth. Thanks for watching over Chip. Now if I just had someone to watch over me.
You'll have to call George Gershwin. I'm very busy.
Look, favor for favor, how are you fixed for money? Do you need anything to tide you over until the derelicts start rolling in?
I don't want your money.
Well, how about traveler's checks? Credit cards?
Do I have to remind you that I am perfectly capable of taking care of myself, even though it's probably very hard for your male ego to hear?
No, actually, it sort of cheers my male heart. But if you do need anything, I hope you won't be too proud to come to me. I don't really like the thought of you being entirely on your own, no matter how capable you are. I know it's tough trying to raise a child alone and get a career going, even for somebody as remarkable as you.
Yeah, it is kind of tough. For Victoria, too. You know, now that Mrs. Whitcomb is gone, she has to take care of the baby all by herself, and whether you like it or not, she does have a career.
I'm well aware of that.
Well, then maybe before you extend a hand to me, you should look and see what's happening in your own home.
Are you all right? I think we better take her to a hospital, get her checked out.
No, please, no more hospitals. I'm fine. I'm just a little shaken up. It just rather caught me off guard.
What happened to you,
Oh, I was trying to trick him, but at the same time I was hoping he wouldn't show up.
Who were you talking about?
Alex. I just couldn't believe that he'd do anything to harm Elena. He's always been so devoted to her.
Did you suspect him before today, even before Pearl and I put that idea in your head?
Yes, I suspected him a long time ago, but I just kept putting the thought out of my head. It was so unbearable to me. I just didn't think he could harm Elena in any way, any more than I can conceive of you being the killer. That's why I came forward and testified that I saw someone at the Laser Palace. I was hoping that would be enough to get you off.
What are you saying? It was a lie?
No, of course it wasn't. I was under oath.
So you actually did see somebody leaving the place?
Yes, I saw someone.
Did you recognize who it was?
Yes.
Well, then tell us.
Was it a man?
Pamela, don't you see, if you know deep in your heart who this is, you've got to tell us. Cruz has been convicted of a murder. He was kept in jail. He was hunted by the police. If you know who killed her, you've got to tell us.
It was Alex's necklace.
Drink some of this, I'll make you feel a lot better.
What is it?
H2O?
Water?
Obviously, Nicholas knows we're onto him. He's been spooked. Now, we gotta get after him fast before he runs for it.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw, beyond the INF Treaty, can President Reagan and Mikhail Gorbachev negotiate even bigger cuts in long-range missiles? What is the mood in the U.S. and the Soviet Union? We'll have comprehensive coverage of the summit. Also, the emerging profile of a man who may have fired the shots on the doomed PSA commuter flight in California. These stories and more news tonight on NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.